Well, good morning. And I do want to start off by saying that General Perna is truly a good friend. And I enjoy working with him and the entire G4 staff day in and day out. I am very, very excited to be here today and to represent General Vi, the Commanding General of the Army Materiel Command, and the entire Army Materiel Command team. And so I'm excited. The group looked lively this morning, and I'll share a couple of things with you to hope to get you thinking a little bit. General Sullivan, to you and your magnificent staff, thank you for what you do for our Army, for our soldiers and their families, this nation, as well as all the uniformed services. And so, team, I want to ask you to give them a big round of applause. I also want to just take a moment to thank our defense industry partners, as well as academia, for their great partnership, especially over the last 13 or so years, because what we have done for our Army and our nation could not have been done without you. Thank you so much. We have a couple of AMC folks in the audience today, and they'll be roaming throughout as well throughout the day, and I ask you to engage them. That's why they are here. Talk to them, pick their brains, so you can help us get better at getting better as we continue to support the greatest Army in the world. There's a couple things I want to talk to you about today. First, I want to talk to you about what AMC does for those of you all who are new to the defense industry business. Then I briefly want to talk to you about some of the things that has happened and what we've accomplished over the last 13 years. Then I want to focus on how we are adapting global support and sustainment to win in a complex world. And lastly, I want to emphasize partnering opportunities with you. The Army Materiel Command mission is to develop and deliver global readiness solutions to sustain unified land operations anytime, anywhere. And I think we all can say in this room, the Army Materiel Command has did just that over the last 13 years. We are a $58 billion enterprise consisting over 64,000 dedicated professional civilians and soldiers, plus over 60,000 contractors. We have an impact and presence in all 50 states, and we conduct business in more than 145 countries. Our diverse sustainment portfolio builds partnerships, provide acquisition and technology support, and we operate the Army's organic industrial base, as well as provide strategic agility and operational flexibility to the 6 geographic COCOM commanders. With the 6 COCOM commanders, we are forward positioned with our Army Field Support Brigades, Contracting Support Brigades, Transportation Brigades, as well as our research and development capabilities, and our 34 security assistance training teams around the globe, all in an effort to remain globally engaged and regionally aligned. The Army Materiel Command has supported past operations to include Operation Unified Response, Unified Assistance, and Operations Enduring Freedom. We also continue to support current operations in Afghanistan and Iraq, as well as other exercises around the globe. We operate a large complex, diverse portfolio consisting of 12 key strategic enablers. In the interest of time, I will briefly talk to you about three, just to give you a historical perspective and to expound on the magnitude of what the Army Materiel Command do. I will briefly focus on the organic industrial base, our global contracting support capabilities, and our security assistance programs. As General Wyche would say, and he says often, the organic industrial base is our national security insurance policy. It consists of 23 one-of-a-kind unique facilities. We have made a $1.5 billion capital investment in our industrial base since 2005. Over the last 13 years, we have invested over $32 billion and reset for over $3.9 billion items. Of the reset amount, $5.7 billion represented our support to other services. Through FY17, we have forecasted $9.15 billion in depot services, sales, and supply inventory. The Army Materiel Command conducts the majority of the Army's contracting to include a full range of services for our deployed units and installations. AMC accounts for 70% of the Army's contracting dollars and $1 in every $6 of the federal government contracting. In FY14 alone, the Army Materiel Command processed over 178,000 transactions, which includes new contracts and modifications, valued at over $48.1 billion. The last area of the portfolio that I want to talk to you about is security assistance in this program. Security assistance is a multi-billion-dollar effort to build partner capacity, which is critical as we move forward. It strengthens U.S. global partnerships in the area of foreign military sales. We have managed over 4,500 cases valued at over $159 billion, impacting 145 countries. Foreign military sales in FY14 was over $20 billion, an all-time high. So we are definitely busy in the area of foreign military sales. I would like to use the remainder of my time to talk to you about how the Army Materiel Command is adapting to provide global sustainment and to win in a complex world. The priorities of the Secretary and the Army Chief of Staff are very clear. And to meet their intent, the Commanding General of AMC has developed 5 focus areas on how we will provide global sustainment. Today, we are providing material readiness by realigning our Army field support brigades and battalions, building equipment activity sets, and modernizing Army pre-positioned stocks. We are also executing a plan to realign several of the Army support brigades in order to provide continuous global support to CENTCOM, PACOM, and AFRICOM. We continue to support the Chief's vision by providing COCOM commanders with activity sets to support rotational forces, disaster relief operations, exercises, as well as theater security. The European activity set proved so successful that the Chief of Staff of the Army approved growing it to a full brigade combat team. Activity sets allow each COCOM commander to have a forward capability without permanent stationing of troops, We are also in the process of building activity sets in AFRICOM, PACOM, specifically Vietnam, Malaysia, Cambodia, as well as Bangladesh. We're also building a special activity set for our special operations community. Another area that we're focused on is our Army Pre-Positioned Stocks, APS. We are adding MRAPs and bridging capabilities in CONUS, adding a sustainment brigade in a route clearing package in Korea. And we are building a humanitarian assistance and disaster relief set for Southcom. We are also adding an infantry battalion in CENTCOM. We're also optimizing the readiness of our APS fleets. Through the construction of 15 climate control warehouses, we will improve property accountability and extend equipment shelf life in our largest apps fleet. We expect to realize an annual savings of $100 million in reduced life cycle costs just by moving the apps 5 fleet indoors out of the sun. And for all of you who are involved in this initiative, thank you for your support. We are placing a great deal of emphasis on providing responsive global logistics acquisition and technology support. Our logistics modernization program is a true business transformation for our Army, Materiel Command, and the Army. LMP is a $1.1 billion investment. LMP replaced 35-year-old legacy systems, which now provides us greater accuracy, reliability, speed, allowing us to better deliver readiness support in the global environment. We're also advancing LMP efforts to better manage this large, complex industrial supply chain within the industrial base. EAGLE, or Enhanced Army Global Logistics Enterprise, is a strategic sourcing strategy to integrate supply, maintenance, and transportation service requirements across the Army. Currently, we have agreements with 146 companies, which are refreshed on an annual basis. EAGLE is designed to streamline the acquisition of logistics services at our 73 logistics readiness centers at our Army installations. EAGLE promotes better buying power in the most efficient and cost-effective manner. It improves competition, and it increases opportunity for small businesses to become prime contractors. The Army Materiel Command is also fostering a virtual operating environment supported by current and emerging technologies that will enable greater collaboration, knowledge sharing, resulting in increased agility and responsiveness. AMC forecasts millions of dollars in spare parts requirements each year. Our virtual integrated material management initiative will allow us to improve our forecasting accuracy, supply chain readiness, productivity, as well as reduce inventory, which will lead to inventory savings, reduce supply chain costs, and optimize readiness. At the end of the day, this initiative will help us get better at getting better and making us the best at what we do in delivering and sustaining global readiness around the globe. We are also delivering a virtual contracting enterprise capability that will improve responsiveness, contract oversight, and provide end-to-end visibility and contract transparency. This initiative will improve our business processes, which will ultimately improve support to our soldiers and our DoD contractors. Innovative research and development is another area of focus. Our current S&T portfolio is $1.6 billion, which is 75% of the total Army's S&T budget. Currently, REDCOM is executing 724 funded tasks that are aligned to the Army operating challenges and the TRADOC's imperatives. REDCOM is also linked with TRADOC's 8 centers of excellence to ensure S&T investment meets priorities. We are currently investing our time, energy, and money in autonomous ground supply vehicles, cyber situational awareness, long-range fires, just to mention a few areas. I know I talked to you earlier about the Army's organic industrial base, but given its significance, it is important that I share with you where we are headed. Sustaining this unique capability is a must and is critical to the readiness of our Army and our nation. We must ensure that the organic industrial base remains a viable and responsive capability, as we recently experienced with the replacing of the corroded Paladin gun tubes across the Army. After years of combat operation, we are transitioning to sustainment, while at the same time, we are downsizing our Army. It is extremely important that we sustain the industrial base capabilities through public-private partnerships, small business partnerships, as well as developing and implementing a cost management culture. We currently have 276 active partnerships that we anticipate will generate over $300 million in FY15. For example, the Toby Hanna Army Depot has generated over $25 million in public-private partnerships revenue, having achieved 100% of their goal in April. They won't stop there, though. Moving forward, Toby Hanna has 47 ongoing partnerships and is currently working 41 potential opportunities with 26 different companies. These partnerships remain critical as we continue to move forward. Additionally, in FY14, the Army Materiel Command invested over $9 billion, accounting for more than 50% of the Army's small business dollars. Many of these investments were made within the industrial base. At the Army Materiel Command, small business is big business, which is the economic engine of America. We're also focusing on establishing a cost management culture as well as employing continuous process improvements. The last area that I want to talk to you about is adaptive leaders. As with the generation that came before you and I, our leaders will continue to move us forward. 25% of the Army Materiel's civilians, of the Army's civilians, are located in the Army Materiel Command. We are a very experienced, dedicated organization that consists of immaculate professionals. However, our workforce is aging. 20% of our civilians are retirement eligible. And to get ahead of that fact, through AMC 1000, AMC will offer 1,000 high school and college students intern opportunities for the next 5 years, starting this month. We're also reaching out to academia and industry to leverage research and educational opportunities in the areas of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Additionally, our Always a Soldier program fosters employment and awareness for our wounded warriors, veterans, and their families. We have partnered with other services and the Department of Labor to seek hiring opportunities for our veterans. And I ask you to consider hiring our veterans first. Times are changing. The Army is drawing down to a leaner, more lethal, and more agile expeditionary force. And as we move forward, you will remain critical enablers in providing global sustainment and logistics. I seek your opportunities for partnering in the areas of sustainment and support operations, manufacturing and technology, foreign military sales, and there are many other areas. Please talk to us throughout the day. In closing, there is no shortage of challenges in today's news. From the budget challenges here at home to the roster of crises around the globe, I believe it's safe to say that we know for sure that little is for sure. And as General Perkins would say, the TRADOC commander, the world is unknown and it's unknowable. We operate in an environment that is both uncertain and complex, but it's also a tremendous opportunity. Despite all those challenges you read about, it's a great time to be in the Army, it's a great time to be a soldier, and it's a great time to be in the Army Materiel Command. We have an opportunity right now that doesn't come around very often, and that is to help reshape our great Army for a next generation of soldiers and for a nation that will continue to depend on an Army that is equipped and ready for operations around the globe. And we in the Army Materiel Command look forward to working with each of you and turning those words into reality. And with your help, the Army Materiel Command will continue to remain the premier provider of Army and joint logistics readiness to win in a complex world. Thank you.